welcome to. Oh, now we're good. What's up, everyone? We were muted for a second.
We got this.
Welcome to Devstream 87. It's me, your host, Lawlta. Today, your community expedition leader, I believe is what my title is this time around. And with me,
I'm Mark. I'm a technical designer.
Is that what it says on there? I think it says frozen designer.
Oh, well, that is accurate. You see like the snowflakes that are happening in the background. Like that's not a dramatization. This room is freezing.
It's a little cold.
So we better start like telling them all the cool stuff because I'm gonna get frostbite soon.
That's fine. You should have brought your jacket. You would have been fine.
It's Florida. We shouldn't need it.
We do. It's winter. Our servers are fantastic right now as a result. Anyways, we've got a lot to cover today, so we're just going to get right into it.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, is our mic volume a little low? Eric, you want to hook us up? Apparently our mic volume's a little low.
I could always project.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of are already.
The whole studio will hear us.
So, are you guys able to hear us just fine? Just want to double check. We had a lot of stuff we had to move around with our setup, so we're watching chat, seeing what you guys are saying. But let us know if we're too quiet still. We'll get that knocked out. All right, better, fantastic. So to get into what's going on well, first of all, we haven't talked about what Devstream this is, and the timer had it. So the next update is called Dungeon Defenders 2 Drakenfrost, because as you can see, it's kind of a winter theme to it. You're going to be visiting some new places. But as you can see, the town looks a little bit different to it. There's one big thing in the center of town.
A Christmas tree.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay. So this is part of it. This is our Christmas event this time around. You can go up to the Christmas tree and interact with it once a day. And upon doing so, you will be granted a whimsical gift. And there are 3 different kinds of whimsical gifts that you can get. Again, you can only get one a day. There is the rare, the epic, the mythical, and the legendary. With just the epic one, you'll get one of, I think it's 4.
You can tell them what's inside their presents?
You gotta give them an idea.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm not saying what specifically.
All right, go ahead.
They don't even know what kind of gift they're getting.
Apparently there's no more mystery in the holidays. Go ahead.
They wrote it down. They already know I'm going to get it for them.
All right.
At the base tier, the epic tier, is a
Blue.
guaranteed, a blue tier, we'll just get them all knocked out, is a guaranteed holiday-themed weapon. I believe they're all for the base 4 heroes, so everyone will be able to partake. Again, you can only get one a day. Alongside that, if you don't get the epic one, you will get a mythical is our next tier.
Yes.
Within that, you will get a mythical version of that weapon. The epic tier will give you an epic tier. It'll give you a mythical tier, and you will get a base defender pack with it. And then at the legendary tier, on the mythical one as well, you get a shard.
A shard. One random shard.
Yeah, so like as you complete maps, you'll get chaos, a campaign or chaos 1 through 7 shard. That's what this will be. It'll be a random difficulty. You open it up, it's a random shard, like if you completed a map. And then if you get the legendary one, if you are super lucky and get a legendary one, you will get the legendary tiered weapon. You will get a mythical defender pack.
Yes.
And then you will get a shard pack, like what you can get from the vendors within the private tavern and the town, which will contain 5 shards of whatever difficulty that specific shard pack is. You do that once a day. So you just visit it, grab it, yay, free stuff. So, and they look awesome.
They're sweet.
Right now.
We're showing them one right now.
Yeah, we're showing the Shamash candle. For those of you that don't know, on a menorah, the candle in the middle is the Shamash. So that's what is the Shamash staff. Eric's has a fire chip on it, so the entire thing has a really dope VFX on it.
Looks really awesome.
Yeah, I love that thing so much. Also on the adept that he's playing is the Frosty Grin Flair. That is what we are giving away today as well. It has an amazing smile to it that everyone will love. Oh, he's got the Squire out right now as well. So you can see, does that have any mod on it specifically, or is that just how it looks by default? So that's the default look on that sword. The mods, we're going to be talking about a new mod that's coming as well. will change how that looks. And so far, all the VFX on them are fantastic. And then last, kind of just one more thing to touch on it, because we got so much to go through, is a lot of people are going to say, how long does this last? Does it come with the update? And then it's just gone after a week?
This thing lasts like forever.
Well,
it's like, have you ever been in like a shopping mall in February and they're still playing Christmas music on the speakers everywhere? And you're like, what the heck? Christmas was over a long time ago. It's going to be like that.
But not that. I don't think. Maybe not till February.
Same feeling.
It'll be past December, so you will have plenty of time. A lot of people travel during the holidays. Some people have finals they probably should be studying for right now or be in class.
Nah.
If you're not, cool. You've got good priorities. I'd watch us too. But it's going to be going on for a while, so you should be able to get every one of the weapons. Do they come with mods on them?
No, they do not.
They do not. Okay, so they're perfect. They're open. You're good to go to put whatever you want to on them. You can customize them. There's no kind of mod locked onto it that's specific to it. There's a ton of stuff. So you've got plenty of time to hop in and like get as much as you want. Tons of potential defender packs, tons of shards that you can be getting. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. These are tradable too?
They are indeed tradable.
Whoa, all right. So even if you don't get what you want and a buddy of yours gets too many.
I mean, it is the season of giving, so you could be generous and give them away to other people, just saying.
Yeah,
you know.
giving and taking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we've got about the holiday event stuff. Obviously, this map looks super dope.
Yeah.
I love it.
They outdid themselves this year.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. The gifts are awesome. They look really cool. Not defender packs, by the way. Just the swords, stabs, and bow. So those 4 are tradable. Everything else is not. You can't trade the shards and stuff. It's going on past December. Once a day, you can get some really dope stuff. Winter Holiday Festival. So that's gonna be coming with the update. It's live with the update when it comes out. But past that, we got some more stuff to move on to. So when we don't need a transition yet, but we've got some new kind of quality of life stuff coming around. One thing that we want to talk about is the ability to interact with other players.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you not realize you were switching?
Really excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are adding vicinity targeting into the game, where basically you can see somebody, hover over them. You don't have to actually be hovered over them the entire time. You can actually target them. Kind of mark
Okay.
target
So
wheel.
I'm super excited about this. So you know how like sometimes you'll be in town, you'll run by somebody and be like, man, that person looks badass. I want to add them to my friends list, or I want to go play a game with them, that kind of thing. Well, vicinity targeting lets you do that super easily. So now, as well as like you can always hit the escape button, go to the player list, and select what you want to do with somebody there, we've added a new feature which lets you sort of interact with them more organically if you kind of see somebody running around the hub and you decide you want to play with them. So what you can do on PC, since we're playing on PC specifically, but this is on all platforms, is you can press the tab button on the keyboard or click in the middle mouse button on your mouse, whichever you desire, and you'll see a little targeting reticle come up and float to one of the nearer players around you. And from there, you can push the T button to interact with them, and you have all of the options that you would have on the escape menu now through this wonderful vicinity targeting system, which is what we're calling it. And the good thing about this too is, let's say some joker ran right in front of you when you're trying to target somebody else. You just push tab again or scroll the mouse wheel. Mm-hmm. You can easily switch targets. You can easily cycle through everyone that's within your field of view, and it makes social interactions super quick, super simple, super organic.
Oh, the last one's the most important.
Yeah.
Also with it, we tried to make sure that it wasn't too it took up too much of your visual attention. Yeah. So it should look pretty good, but again, with everything we're talking about, we are always open to any feedback on improvements and stuff. There's a couple systems that we've got that we are wanting as much feedback as we can get on, which is the next one we're going to be talking about. We are not able to, in this specific build, able to kind of show it off. It's a new feature called Communities.
Oh, how much can we show them? Really cool stuff.
I think there's like a menu maybe, but it's like not available
we're
on
always,
this build.
We're always working to the 11th hour, guys, so bear with us. But Communities is this other super cool thing, which is totally new addition to the game. It's going to be for PC users.
Yeah. Well, to specify, this is specifically to test. We're wanting to see how this works on a larger scale, And with PC, we have a lot of things already set up that we don't on console, potentially yet. So we need to test this on a large scale, and PC is kind of the best way to do that. So for right now, this is a PC-specific feature, but we will be looking into expanding it later on.
So what communities are is it basically lets a bunch of like-minded players group up together, and it makes it way easier for you to see what they're doing, to chat with them, and to play with them. So like the major things that communities will let you do is, number one, when you're in a community, that community is going to have its own chat channel that no one else can see. And the beautiful thing about that chat channel is it happens cross-session. So like, let's say I'm beating down stuff in Onslaught floor 600 because I'm awesome. I can be chatting with somebody who's just hanging out in the town trying to sell something, or playing a Chaos 1 map. So that's super exciting. It's going to be really easy to talk with the people that are in your community and to have conversations in a very fluid and organic way. The other thing that you can do is the community is going to sort of list out all of the members that are in it. You can join and invite people through this menu directly. So if you log on, open up your communities menu, see, oh, hey, my buddy's playing a Chaos 7 map, which you'll be able to see what he's playing. You can just click on his name, hit join game, and you're in there and you're immediately playing with them. So a super easy in-game way to group up together and play together and fight off the Goblin Legion.
Yeah. So, well, there's a couple other things with it.
Sure.
One, well, first of all, you can name your communities.
Yes.
Just don't be too nasty and profane. We do have a filter in place, so there are some things to avoid, but you can name them. And then there's also is it 4 characters? Is this a hard 4-character limit, or can you do 3?
You can do 3 to 4 character tag.
Okay.
Which you use, which is sort of like an abbreviation that will help you easily navigate the communities menu. And it's also the way that you'll be able to like sort of switch channels in your chat to talk to different channels is through slash commands, which is sort of a staple of MMOs if you guys have ever played them before. So to be able to do backslash, or is it forward slash? I always
it's backslash. This is like you gotta go top to bottom.
Have you ever met the person who like can't never remember left to right? That's me with forward slash backslash. I'm sorry.
It's this way. Okay.
That thing.
Well, for them it's the exact opposite.
Whatever. It's a slash. You type that slash or tag, and then you can hit enter or you can hit space and keep typing your message, and that'll sort of direct anything that you're about to say into that community.
Yeah, and we have a couple ways to do it. But we have very simple ones like first of all, you can be, I don't know if you covered this, you can be in 5 separate communities at any time. You can create your own or join others. Within it, there's also a hierarchy of the person who started it. There's officer rank, and then just everyone else is a member. But you can, say you're in all 5, and you want a fast way to talk between, let's see here, like Elan's Monsty Boys. If you want to be talking in that, and you don't remember what his 3 or 4 letter code was, and also you want to be talking in Excellence Edge of the Map Adventurers, just came up with that one. Those are 2 different ones. You don't remember what the codes are for them. You can just type /C1 or /C2, and you're instantly in it. And you'll be staying in those chats, I believe, until you change the commands. So it'll keep you in there for a while. So no, you don't need to worry about, I'm typing a long thing, because a lot of people don't type long messages. They type spam all at once. So you'll be able to keep communicating within the same community without having to worry about switching between them.
You'll promote and demote people if you're in a position of power and want to go on a kind of a power rut. What do they call those?
Power kick?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never been on one, so I had to think of what it was called. But then there's a handful of other features with these things as well. There's one I'm trying to think of that I can't off the top of my head. Recommendations was it. There we go.
Okay, so this one is this is an important feature because when you've got like this sort of exclusive club, you want to make sure that, as Alandrian puts it, it doesn't turn into a trash group. Yeah. Which is, by the way, an official phrase we've been using in development. We don't want trash groups.
No trash groups.
If you don't want it to happen.
Get them out of here.
So the way that you keep a trash group from happening is you let anyone, decide to willy-nilly invite somebody. So if you're not an officer or if you're not the leader of the community, what you can do is you can recommend somebody. And when you recommend somebody, you basically ask the person, hey, we'd like you to apply to the community. Would you like to apply? And if they say yes, they go on a waiting list where an officer or the leader approves them.
Mhm.
So not just anyone can hop into your community and you're surprised one day and all of a sudden you're in a trash group, which is the worst nightmare of some people.
It's not great. So there's a lot coming with communities though. It is not guilds is the first thing. This is kind of a first step for us. Like I said, we're doing a lot of testing on PC with this specifically. That we're going to be getting a ton. Are you really hung up on trash group, aren't you?
That was a phrase used in a meeting.
Yeah. Hey, it's official. That's a business term now.
It is.
So under trash groups. Anyways, there's a lot of testing going on with this. We want to expand on this system even more. We want to get it out to all the platforms that we can.
Yep.
So just kind of sit tight with us. If you're on PC, this will be coming with the update, which we'll be announcing the release date for that at the end of the stream. Or
I might blurt it out.
You might on accident.
That's not on the board. The board of stuff that I can't talk about doesn't say don't talk about the release date.
Eric, quick. No. So yeah. So we'll get you guys taken care of. I am also looking at chat like at the same time like a dummy. That's how streamers die all the time, man.
Yeah.
I need to avoid that. But again, there's a lot more coming with this system. So just sit tight on it. PC players, have fun with it. Give us as much feedback as you can. It's not too far away. Next order of business. This one applies to every platform. So we've got some inventory changes coming because I think people have been asking for inventory changes maybe a while. I don't know, maybe.
So there's a couple of things here that are going to like super improve your quality of life. First thing is shard sorting. So right now, the way that it works.
Wait,
we're not talking about that.
We got one actual.
I'm sorry, I jumped the gun.
It's all right. We got one big thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first thing that's a little more general is so previously we had auto sort in our bags, and what it would do is it was more of a visual kind of sort, and it would just rearrange your items, and you turn it off, and it kind of shows something separate. That's not how this is anymore. The way it is now is when you auto sort, it actually moves all of the items all at once. And they're just there. That's just where they are now. So it's not like some weird toggle. It doesn't have kind of weird functionality. It's maybe not as intuitive. We've fleshed out a lot of stuff with this change. So this is the first change. But then, alongside hitting this button,
now I can tell him.
Now
I can tell you. So we changed the way in which shards are sorted. So right now, in like the live game, I think the way that they end up getting sorted is like chronologically.
Yeah,
like
on when you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you got it, which is like weird, right? That takes a while to find a shard that you want. So we've changed that. Now what we do when you click the sort button is we're going to sort all defense shards together, so all green shards, and all hero specific shards together, so all the blue shards. So each one of them, like you'll see a block of green shards and then a block of blue shards, and then within each one of those groups, we sort them alphabetically. So if the shard starts with an A, it comes first, and you all know what alphabetical is.
I hope.
Hopefully.
That's we're not gonna assume here, but hopefully. You guys are smart. We know it. So that's a big one that we were really happy to get in. Especially now, whenever you sort a bunch of stuff, if you have giant bags, like I've got several now with a bunch of shards in it, it'll sort them all together, and you'll just have these nice sections of green and nice sections of blue, and all the icons of the same ones will be next to each other. I am so happy.
Me too.
And Jose apparently doesn't know what alphabetical is. He made a hashtag in chat. I looked for a millisecond and saw it. So he's watching. He's outside the door, heavily breathing to get in, I'm sure. So we've got shard sorting. We've got some other kind of little mod kind of feedback we've gotten.
One of the pieces of feedback that we've received a lot since Protean Shift is you guys want a super convenient way to sort your shards. Or not your shards. Your mods.
They want to inspect their mods is the first part.
Mod quality.
Yes. Quality.
Yeah, the quality.
TM.
So what we've done is we've added 2 new features that should let you do that pretty easily. The first one is if you go to the filter by tab in your bags, we have added a new option that you can click that says filter by mod quality. And what this does is it looks for the highest quality mod that's on a particular piece of equipment. So let's say there's a legendary with 2 different mods on it. One's a 2 and one's a 10. It's going to look at which one's higher, so obviously 10. And it's going to say, okay, that's a 10. And it's going to draw a little 10 number on the icon of the equipment, which you should be able to see. What it's then going to do is it's going to group all of the highest rolls together. So all the 10s will be grouped together, all the 9s will be grouped together, so on and so forth. And what this will let you do is it'll let you very easily find those super high quality mods you just picked up or just came out of the victory chest, went in your inventory, not sure where they went. Bang. It's all listed out, it's all grouped together. Easy peasy.
Also with this, as you might notice, the number is in white, and that's because we have colorblind players. So it won't be green through red, which would make some of it really quickly to see. So you have to pay a little bit of attention to the number that's actually displayed there. But everyone can see what it is now instead of worrying about, I think that's a 10? I don't know, maybe it blends in too much. So it's left white just because it's neutral for people to be able to see it and sort through. So we added this feature in, but we want to make sure that everyone could use it. And outside of the sorting, is there a way to see what your mod?
So let's say you're some sort of weirdo and you don't like our filter by tab for whatever reason, because it's pretty cool. You can just go to a regular bag, and if you hold on PC, I believe it's the shift button, you can bring up those little number icons on the actual equipment icons and quickly just sort through and see if there are any 10s or 8s, or maybe you're just looking for a 2 because you're unlucky or whatever. Although we're about to talk about that. That's actually a really good segue.
Oh, well, hold on. I want to real quick. So one thing with a lot of these inventory changes, there's a couple things that this fixes some big bugs on. And if you run into them at all, please let us know. First one is that sometimes items that you weren't selecting to put in your shop slots to sell would put other items in. It's a very rare bug, but people did run into it. Some people ran into it with it moving like random shards in there that you weren't able to target an exploit. It just happened. That should be gone. You shouldn't have issues with your first bag. Some people were having issues where their first bag would visually disappear. Your items were still there, but you just couldn't see them or use them until you transition. That should be gone as well. I think there's a couple other things, but for the most part, those are two of the biggest ones that are now knocked out because of these quality changes. So with that, I think it's time to transition into mods.
I think so.
All right. Did that fix it? All right, there we go. We're a little bit more on camera now.
All right.
We were a little high there before. So anyways, we are on to mods. So the first...
Can I tell them about the new mod?
Do you want this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's okay. So there's a new mod. There's a brand new mod that's pretty cool. It is the oil chip. And if you put it on a weapon, it will turn that weapon oily and will oil things in a very oily way.
In an oily way, yeah. So this one's actually really cool. It's obviously something that you guys have had access to with like Oil Geyser and actually just very small instances of it. Now you can have it applied to your weapon so that, say you use flame auras. Now if you have that on your weapon, you just shoot everything with a ranged character, or if you're up cutting them up, you'll be able to burn them and they'll take a bunch extra damage. So that's pretty dope. We only have a chip though, correct? It's not
just a chip.
It's just a chip for right now. We might look into servo, but we're not. We have a lot of stuff we're looking into that we're going to be talking about later. Yeah. So right now we're comfortable with doing chip. We don't want to put something out there and be like, oh, we have to remove this or it's broken or something. So we're sticking with chip for right now. But there's also some other big mod changes.
Yes.
Because like we put out a patch a while ago.
Start from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through it.
Yeah.
So the first part is we'll go through it for you guys. That's the right way. We upped the drop rates.
Mm-hmm.
I think pretty significant.
Yeah, we more than doubled the drop rates for Perfect 10, and we increased the drop rates for all mods of quality 6 and above.
Yep. So those were up quite a bit. We got a lot of positive feedback on that. A lot of people were seeing them really quickly. The things we saw from that, what we wanted were people to see mod like perfect 10 out of 10s, not specific ones, but just any 10 out of 10 within 4 or less hours of gameplay. And more or less, that's what people were starting to discover. But you know what really sucks? Not seeing it in less than 4 hours and going like, 30 hours.
Maybe some of you guys who are watching this will sympathize with me, and I wrote about this in the dev blog, which you should read. But my entire life, I've had this disease. It's a disease of unluckiness.
Oh, no.
Right? It's just afflicted me for forever, and RNG has picked on me my entire life because of it. Right?
That sounds like a dev blog quote.
It's rough. Like, you're laughing at my pain right now.
I'm okay. On this pain, I'm okay with it.
So although we like really increase the drop rates of perfect mods, some people like me are just born unlucky, right? So what we're going to be doing with this new expansion is
update.
It's
an update, not an expansion.
It's a thing.
It's with all these new things coming out.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, go ahead.
The happening that's going to be. I can't tell them when, but the thing that's going to be happening, there's something coming out that will ensure that if you're like me, just born unlucky, after, we told him how long in the dev blog, in about less than 10 hours of active gameplay, if you still haven't seen a perfect roll mod, we're going to guarantee that a perfect roll mod is going to drop for you.
Whatever the next one is.
So,
but you have to realize that's active gameplay. So that's not sitting in the town.
No.
That's not hanging out in tavern. That's not booting
chilling,
the game up.
Chilling in the new awesome communities.
Yeah. I mean, I get it if you do, but that might increase the amount of time it takes to see a perfect 10 out of 10 mod. So you got to just balance those things out. That's life. We're giving you a time management skill here. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
But how did we kind of with that kind of time? What kind of player are we like when we have that time? Is that a solo player?
Oh, yeah, we told him this. You almost didn't let me tell him this. This is a secret. There's so many secrets that I could tell you.
I don't know about.
He won't let me tell you.
I feel like
this is one that he let me tell you. Okay, so here's how do I say this? Okay, so like I said, we're guaranteeing you a mod in in a less than 10-hour time frame around there. If you're playing multiplayer, specifically with a party of 4 people, you can really, really, really reduce the time that it takes to see that guaranteed perfect roll.
Even it'll get like what the average is moves down significantly, and
pretty much cut it in half.
Yeah, and that goes for the amount of time of active, consistent gameplay as well for hitting the guaranteed one. So again, it's about 10 or less hours. It's around there. But again, you got to be consistently playing. Basically what happens is if you recorded 10 hours of your gameplay, you would guarantee see one at that point in time.
Absolutely.
As long as you're not like AFK, going and getting burritos or using the bathroom.
Yep. Play with people,
or
make
watching
friends.
Or watching a Devstream or Trendy Friday Fun.
Be social.
Yeah. So as long as you're active, you'll see them coming at you pretty quick. So kind of what were kind of our goals by doing that? I mean, I think they're pretty self-evident.
Yeah, I mean, they're self-evident. Like I said, we just want to make sure that, sometimes you get unlucky. So if you're one of those players that just so happens to start getting unlucky, we're going to make sure that it doesn't stay that way.
Yeah.
And, of course, Dungeon Defenders is better with your friends, right? So play with your friends, be social, be happy.
Also, it just feels good to get a bunch of dope stuff, but we don't want to throw too much because we want to make sure it feels super epic to get those 10 out of 10s.
Yes.
Because if you're just having them rain on you, then it doesn't feel awesome to actually. You don't feel like you're going for anything. You have to have some aspirations when playing games. That's how I feel, anyways. If I'm just getting a raining of stuff, it's just like, oh, I can't catch all this rain. It's water. I have hands.
I mean, these are like the best of the best, right? So you can't just have them raining from the sky, or else they don't feel special. So.
But we want to make sure you guys are seeing them.
Yeah.
So with that, we have another feature to talk about in regards to modding. As you saw in the dev blog, mod rerolls.
Yes.
What are they specifically? Because we had some people confused on what they were.
So what the mod reroll is you are able to select a mod that's on your piece of equipment, and when you choose reroll, that type of mod, so like let's say it's a tenacity mod, will always be a tenacity mod. That won't change. But what you do have is a risk-free chance of getting a higher roll on that mod. So that's what mod rerolls.
Yeah, so you'll get them. You'll be able to go through and select a specific mod, as Eric has pulled up for you guys right there. He just doesn't have the crafting materials to do it at the moment. But you will click on it. You will then be able to, it'll say, this is what the old one is. This is what the new one is. Do you want to accept it? Yes or no. If it's an upgrade, we've also made things. This is not as helpful for our colorblind players, but we do have it to where if it is an upgrade, it will be green. If it is a downgrade, or I think it's the same or lower, it's red.
Same, or if it's the same, it's still green.
Okay, so
if it's a downgrade, it's red.
So if it's same or higher,
Yeah.
the number will be green. If it's lower than what you currently have, it'll be red. So you'll have an instant piece of feedback that says this is an upgrade, or you already have this, accept it.
Yep.
If not, decline it. It's just more to give you guys control over these things, to see what's going on, so it's not just thrown upon you.
Exactly. Like with the sort of the guarantees that we're talking about, like that guarantees you a perfect mod, right? But that perfect mod that you get might not be the perfect mod that you want. Because I want as many tenacity mods as I can get.
Right.
So what this lets you do is this gives you a more targeted way to increase the likelihood of finding that perfect mod that you are looking for, and like you're able to cut down the amount of time it takes to find that. It's a fraction of what it would be if you were just waiting for a drop. So this is a really powerful way to get that equipment that you're looking for and invest in the things that are most important to your playstyle.
And it's also just a bonus that if you have this and you use all your rerolls on, say it is like a tenacity or a shocking revelation, just going to start talking meta mods at this point. If you are focusing on farming those, you basically have two ways to do it now. You can hope you get a random one that comes at you, which again, you're going to be receiving a lot more as long as you're actively playing now. And then you can, at the same time, target one. So you've got like two different acquisition methods here of getting the build you want, like getting closer to it. Obviously, you still got to play, still got to grind for those, but that's part of the journey. But this, now you have multiple ways to kind of get there, which was kind of a big point of this, especially as we start adding more mods over time with future updates as well.
And just something I think Lawlta said it, but just really important to cover. If you're not familiar with primary rerolls, then I'll just lay it out for you. This is going to work the same way that the primary stat reroll works. So like if you click the reroll button, you always have the choice to not take what was rolled for you. So like let's say you've got a 7 and you click reroll for the first time, and for whatever reason like it gives you a 1 out of 10. You can say no, I don't want that 1 out of 10. Keep this 7 out of 10 that I already have. And so it's a totally risk-free way to invest and improve your chances of getting that perfect stuff.
And now, I'm sure people are wondering, what is the acquisition method of this? And it's very similar to, so with primaries, we understand there's a couple of things people want to focus on with primaries. That's your weapons, and that's also your relics. Mostly, it's your it's not your totems. It's not marks, medallions. I can't want to say marks, but that's not what we can drop. Oh, spears, nope. Marks, nope. We're almost there. Medallions. So your medallions and your weapons are the big ones. We'll be talking about some of the blockade buffs, so totems will actually be kind of important. And we were considering moving on to secondary first, but we're like, what would really bring the thunder? Mods. So with the previous ones for primary stat, you have to go play pirate maps, because the application of that is just one stat, but there's 3 mods on every item. And so I guess my first question is, if you complete these, well, again, these are Drakenfrost maps. If you complete these, do you get the mod reroll items from that?
Yes.
Okay.
You're guaranteed to get a mod reroll item from the Drakenfrost maps.
But Mark, this affects so many items.
It does. This is huge.
Is there anywhere else we can get them?
Well, dear player, yes, you can get them on other places. If you are climbing onslaught floors, I believe starting at I don't know if I want to give exact numbers. If you're climbing an onslaught and you're sort of beyond like the Chaos 7 onslaught that you would expect,
that's fair.
You will start seeing the reroll materials drop on every map. So you can simultaneously, like let's say you both want perfect roll mods and you want to play whatever map you want to be playing, or you want to be pushing an onslaught. You can start achieving both of those goals simultaneously so long as you push. And not only that, you can get a bonus when you continue to push. So the drop rate will start at one rate and it can graduate to another rate if you keep pushing it on.
Yeah, so
good stuff.
And then the map we're going to be showing in a second. So we haven't talked about what its name is specifically. We're just calling them Drakenfrost maps for right now. Do you get more on that map?
you will always get the most from the Drakenfrost maps.
Oh, okay.
So, if you're really targeting these things and you really want to reroll as much as possible, Drakenfrost maps, best place to be to get them.
But you can get them as you normally play as well. So
Yeah,
you
if you're pushing on stuff.
you can pick your poison. You can go in and do the expedition tier. Do they drop in the adventure tier?
I don't believe so. No.
So, but they do in the expedition.
They do an expedition.
So you can go if you just want to just chill out, just have super easy AFK grind time, and just farm a bunch of those. You can do that.
And they'll just be on the Drakenfrost map, so easy farm time.
Or if you want to, you want to put in some effort and also progress at the same time, you're still getting them there.
Yeah, you're gonna get them everywhere.
And we got a little bit more to cover on that, but not quite yet. Also, with the Drakenfrost maps, it's one of our new maps, and then also the Hot Springs map. That was the incursion name for it.
Yeah.
The actual map name for it is the Drakenfrost Resort. Yeah, it's very luxurious. You can stay really warm in a very cold place. And with that, I think we're gonna. Have you already transitioned to it? Let's start heading over to. We'll have Eric load us into the map, and then he's gonna join us on the stream. Man, I love that town. Like, it looks so good. And this map, oof, I loved it. That was a big point of interest on the devlog, of course. We had Daniel Diaz write about it.
He does such amazing
work. They did such a good job with it. So, Drakenfrost Hostel. That's what it's called in the EU release of this game. No, it's not. It's Drakenfrost Keep Drakenfrost Resort everywhere. As you saw, I think the name showed when Eric was clicking on it. So this is Drakenfrost Keep. This is the new map. This is what the update is named after.
Oh, it looks so good.
There is a ton to this map. So much to this map. You should go through every nook and cranny of this map. It is gorgeous. The playstyle is fantastic. And with that, we're gonna switch over because we got so much to talk about. We're gonna show off the map a little bit. We're gonna have Eric come join us, and Mark's gonna take the driver's seat. So let's get to it. All right.
Am I in camera? I don't even know how
Dude,
this thing
you
works.
are. You are beautiful.
It's been a long day.
Has it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know what any of that's about.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so with me is the legendary Petire. He's usually I always feel bad saying your handle now, but I'm sticking with it because it's orange. Anyways, so he's usually kind of driving, but he's also designed a bunch of stuff within our game. There's a lot of stuff with Drakenfrost we're not going to cover specifically, but we really wanted to show it off because it's really dope.
It is one of the best maps. It's a remake of Royal Gardens from DD1. So if you enjoyed that,
yeah, old players will be a little bit more familiar with it.
And well, I mean, as you guys can see, it looks beautiful as all of our art always does.
Always flawless. But there's a lot of system stuff we need to talk about within stuff. So Mark's just gonna have at building, getting ready for any kind of lane, so you guys can see what's coming. But kind of one of the first things, and this was kind of a point of contention. As soon as you get on the camera, we're instantly in the hot seat.
I mean, that's I always make the things that no one wants to do, and I just take all.
Dude, I love everything you do. I love the difficulty stuff though. So to be fair,
that's fair.
It's only because I push for it for just me. No. So the first thing we're just gonna take the bull by the horns. Diminishing returns.
Yep.
So what are they? What's the quickest way to kind of cover what they are?
The quickest way is for people who are going to be stacking a lot of crowd control, they will see a difference. Mm-hmm. If you are adding crowd control to supplement your damage, you will not see a difference.
Okay.
So as long as you are just building kill zones to kill enemies in a normal amount of time, you will see absolutely no difference until, again, you get to late onslaught, crazy high floors where you're starting to see, frost enemies that are immune to slow and things like that. But
yeah.
For the player who is playing from Chaos 1 to Chaos 7, as long as they're just playing with normal stuns, using their Squire, using their, one Shocking Revelation, not their 12, they will see no difference.
Yeah.
So it's every time things get hit by a stun, the next stun will just last less duration.
And there's a soft reset to that as well,
Yes.
right? So if you have a kill zone that is just meant to CC everything, that's not going to be as effective if that was how your entire build was structured. It's still going to be effective with the stuns.
Yep.
The stuns will reduce in time, but you're not going to be able to permanently stun lock things there for like 15 to 20 seconds. But after they've left that and they haven't been CC'd, that you can do it. You could basically have 2 kill zones and they run through the same thing. So so it's not super punishing where it's like they got CC'd once, that's it. They're immune for the whole map. It's a way. It's something that we're going to go into here in a little bit that allows us to do a lot more stuff. But it's a way to kind of make sure that those builds do still work, but they're just not abused to where the end game is not just how long is it stunned for.
Yeah.
I win.
It lets us add a lot of cool and interesting choices for the players instead of just, okay, how many CCs can I fit in a spot in a specific map to hold the enemy there for as long as possible.
Because one of the things...
Kill zones are still going to be the most efficient way to kill enemies in our game.
Yeah.
It is just not going to be place 12 CCs, hold this kill zone, everything dies, you win, congrats.
Because with specifically Shocking Revelation, we toned that mod down quite a bit from what it was because it was just so strong.
Yep.
And a lot of players really enjoyed that mod. Like it has a cool interaction to it. It adds a lot of utility to a really cool tower. And we want to do more of that because we didn't get to elemental combos yet. It's okay. Anyways, just close it. There you go. Commit. So he threw me off my track. But anyways,
he always does.
We want to do a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of additional mods, a lot of additional elemental combos, which we're going to be talking about here in a second. We just aren't able to do that with diminishing returns because what happens is it basically is it as good as CC? No, then I'm not going to use it, which is just like it's just a waste of development time for us and for you guys. So, and we can also like with any future enemies, if we want to make them interesting and not just instantly die, we also have to look into things like making them CC immune right out the gate. And that's not really fun if it's the only way, if it's guaranteed the only way to beat stuff. Like it just cancels mechanics, cancels any future additions that we make. So it's something that we, sorry, I keep losing my screen. It's something that we want to make sure that later on we're not pigeonholed into having to take all these different things into account. Instead, we can have this system up. You guys can use this like for your current builds. In fact, the highest players right now, there are people who are concerned about progressing and whatnot. The highest players currently don't use any. They use ace slow.
We've used their build with the diminishing returns, and they would not see any difference in their play style because of how they use the stuns.
Yeah, so these guys are on like floor 650-ish. So it doesn't affect, like it will affect some builds for sure, but for the overall health of future stuff that we put in, it's something that we need to do, and it's not greatly. We've tested it at so many different difficulties, and we wanted to test it also at the highest, and it still works. So there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. We can do so much cool stuff now.
This opens up so much design space to do a lot of different. We don't have to just compare. Okay, what's the best CC that everyone's using? Compare it to that, equal that, release a new version. We can do a lot of different, okay, well, if we had this one and that one, how can I put these together to make an interesting kill zone here and here and here?
Yeah.
So it is doing this while it may require a small amount of relearning on how you're building.
For certain builds.
For the CC stacking builds, most players will just not see a drastic difference, and it will allow us to do awesome things like our elemental combos. Which we did some cool things.
Yeah. So the next two systems we're going to talk about are specifically the result of putting diminishing returns in. And these aren't, you're not going to be locked out of CCing mobs again. There's, in case you guys were focusing on Mark's gameplay too much, you're gonna be able to stun things multiple times in lanes. It's just there's not going to be this just cover all everything CC'd forever I win kind of stuff, because if you want to AFK farm stuff, you can do that at like C7 or lower onslaught floors. But with that, elemental combos. Is this something players have been asking for? Maybe for, I don't know, just a little bit?
I'm pretty sure it's something I've been asking for, and I'm a player, so that's how this works. Right?
Okay, I think that's how it is. Yeah.
No, it's a thing that, again, I am a very old school player, and I know Elandrian, who's in chat, will back me up on this one. It was one of the coolest parts in the very beginning of Dungeon Defenders 2, of having, your shocking towers and setting everything up and having fun and having choice in what to do with those. But because we did not have a diminishing returns, it became the only way to play the game.
Yeah.
And because of that, we had to heavily nerf our, electrocutes, our freezes, and work from there. And because we added diminishing returns, I have been able to repower electrocute and put freeze back to its former glory. And you guys will see a lot of power in using your combos. Put your oil and fire and do ignite. Put your, geysers and have your storm damage on your monk and have your electrocute last for much longer. I think I doubled or tripled the duration of electrocute from what it is.
So what you're saying is with some of these diminishing return changes and adding these combos in, there's maybe a little bit of balance also kind of thought about, okay.
Now that being said, the elemental combos is still the first portion that I have been able to balance with the new diminishing returns. So, I have not been able to go through every single mod and every shard. We kind of focused heavily on our elemental combos and how long Ignite lasts and how long Electrocute lasts. And all of those things. And it feels very good to stun something for so long because you set up 2, 3, 4 towers and then you put your damage in. And it feels a lot more like you are outsmarting the game versus I'm just building the 3 things that say stun. So that's kind of where we want to go forward and allow player choice and discovery in, what can I do with this and this, and what can I do and change this. And that's why we're adding a lot, again, with the oil chip and allowing that to be on any, almost every weapon in the entire game.
Yeah.
You can have a combo no matter what class you're using. So it's... On top of that, I know this was one of my concerns, and I know some people will be very happy about this one. Our water chip.
Oh, hold on. So
can I please?
No, I'll let you. You can still cover it. That's fine. One thing that I want to make sure that Eric gets a lot of credit for is, or Petire, as some of you might know him, is that or both.
All of the above.
He went through the game itself, through our editor, and changed how all these debuffs work across the board. He made them so much better, so much easier to use, specifically so we can look into adding more to them. And by doing this, we had to make a very critical decision. What was that decision, Eric?
Well, water now drenches.
What kind of water?
The water chip and the water servo that was the only thing in the game that did water damage that didn't drench.
So if it does water damage,
it now drenches.
Oh!
So you can have your cannonballs and your ballistas and your sky guards actually drench enemies and combo that with other towers together with your storm servo and your storm chip to electrocute enemies.
So what you're saying is, with these diminishing returns, with these balance changes to some elemental combos to where like they stun for quite a while, with future things added, we're also adding an additional functionality with water so that it's now super powerful as well. Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought we were just going to put in diminishing returns. And that was it. No fun. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's a little fun. That might be a little fun.
I mean, it's a little fun.
It's a little fun. So, that's pretty big. And now, are we just done with the elemental combo system? No.
I will not let this die. This is
oh my goodness.
One of the things I want heavily. I want combos to be one of the things that you focus on for our endgame players.
Okay.
You want to try to get fit as many combos, damage combos, freeze combos, shatter combos, ignite, as many combos as possible. But I don't want to end there.
Ooh.
We already have more, effects. Maybe we already have poison. We know some poison combos might come in. And with how I've been able to set up this system and make it very robust, we can do basically any combo with our system that we have, and what we're waiting for is Brian to do these amazing, wonderful visual effects so that you guys feel good using everything.
So it's
that
not just the same looking thing. Brian's one of our fantastic technical artist. He's
He's
a
amazing.
wizard.
He's a wizard.
He's a technical
He's
wizard,
a wizard.
I believe.
And so this is a thing that I will continue to work forward and move on and make more and add more combos. Not just, oh, look, there's a new buff with a new, damage type. It will be even existing, maybe we'll go into Drench and, oh, what if Drench gets hit by Earth? What happens? And, we'll look into a lot more details on how those go through. But again, we were unable to do that because we did a lot of things.
I think there's a lot of work put in. Just this alone, it's a bit.
So the one thing that I do have to say is would be great because I know you guys, they play our game, right?
I think so.
They put some time in.
They just like the stream.
It would be.
No, I'm kidding.
It's real fun to see what you guys can come up with. I know we made that tweet about what elemental combos they want to see.
And there were some good ones on there.
Those were awesome.
Yeah.
I wrote some of those down.
Yeah, we were discussing actually. We had a little side meeting and we kind of looked at some of them. One of the ones I liked that multiple people had like the same kind of idea on, some parallel thinking going on, was some fire poison interactions. I'm like, that is dope. I want to do that.
Yep.
So we've seen. I mean, you guys have some really really solid ideas. We obviously want to make combos you want to use. So we've got more stuff coming. Just not yet. I mean, you guys still have to wait to get this stuff. And then we're going to make more stuff. And then you get that stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's elemental combos. That's a big part of this update. But we had someone who also worked on this update a little bit.
Did he?
What? Did he?
Sure.
Am I sure? We've got some blockade changes coming in. So welcome Jose, streamer Jose.
Just gonna stand behind.
You guys might know him as Miguel that one time.
That one time?
Now, there he is again. There, got to put the sunglasses on.
Hello, I just came here to say hi.
That's it.
That's it.
During a Devstream, just popping in.
Hey, bye-bye, good night. I was trying to actively distract you guys, but I don't think I did a good job.
Oh, hold on. Actually, Mark had on one of his characters. He had on one of the flares we're adding with this update that we're only going to be giving away on streams. And I
switch to the Barbarian.
I promised. Wait, is it on there? Okay, yeah.
Boom.
I promised this so long ago I would find a way to get pizza into the game.
Are we giving them away tonight?
No. It's daytime.
It's kind of dark in here.
But you're wearing glasses. Anyways, those are the pizza wings. So not as a buff, but as something you can wear as a flare. That rhymes.
Yep.
So that's only going to be earned through giveaways from us specifically. Yep. We're not showing it off on this stream, but that's not the only streamer-related flare. Our Casters Guild people, Juice Bags, Sidewalk Hero, Excellent, and Show, they each have their own that only they can give away because they've been part of the Casters Guild for over a year now. So we've got those coming a little bit later, not on the initial release, but we'll be getting those out, and they will be giving codes away. There's links to them on our forums. They're everywhere. They're in our Discord. So that's going to be another way to get some really dope flair without paying. You just got to be lucky and also watch streams. But from that, sorry, I got distracted. I had to cover pizza wings.
That's what
I had to.
You saw him and you were like, oh!
There was no way. I was like, oh no, I can't live this fast.
Do you want me to tell them about the other changes that we're doing?
So part 2 of the diminishing returns bonus, something that players have been asking for a little bit, is making blockades viable. Not required, but viable.
So with diminishing returns changes, we really looked into blockades and how to make them better, right? And spike blockades have been basically the best one that's ever been in the game, and it has such a wide range, covers so much space, has relatively low cost DU. So we basically buffed every other blockade in the game that's not the spike blockade. So some of them have been doing some low impact. It's just simpler changes. For example, orc blockade, world tree, and one else, I forget which one. They all got reduced DU costs. Viper's Fang, and now as you upgrade it, it'll bubble up more enemies. So when you upgrade it normally, now it's at 3, I think. But now when you fully upgrade, it's gonna lift up to 5 enemies at the same time. Heavily buffed the health scaling on the Colossus because he was like comparatively weaker, especially if you can only build one of them. So for the Colossus people who enjoy that one, he's gonna be the buffest boy now there is.
The buffest boy.
The buffest boy.
Now what about there's one that I want to know about.
Right. Which one?
It's the apprentices.
Oh right, yeah. Arcane Barrier. Yeah.
Did we change that one?
Yeah, we
Was there something that
Yeah,
people were angry about?
it was we changed like Arcane Barrier pretty drastically. We actually may change it further depending if you guys like this change or not, or if we may look into even changing it further. But the thing that we did with Arcane Barrier is now it doesn't fall apart when it triggers its AoE explosion damage thing, so that works the same. But now previously when it would trigger the explosion thing, it would just fall apart for a little bit, letting enemies go through. So now we're actually taking the steps to like make that like just non-existent. So like
the blockade is actually a wall.
it's a wall, yeah, it's a wall. So now you get hit, it will do like the AoE damage as normal. You can even put the shard that makes it like debilitates enemies around it when they get hit by the AoE. But now you get the certainty that like it doesn't fall apart; it'll just stay normally. For the
We don't have to go through all the changes.
right, but it's
We'll
basically
do one
yeah,
more change.
like the Fisher. I think we wait no the Maw. Oh my god, yeah. Oh man, this fall off to a joke. Never mind. So for the Maw, I think that we got like reduced DU cost and increased health scaling on that one. So
I mean, it is my favorite one.
yeah,
I
so
mean, it looks really dope.
yeah, so the Maw is not gonna have. It's gonna be cheaper. It's gonna be beefier. Basically to like try to give you guys some more options than the spike blockade. So I mean, spike blockade is still gonna be really strong, right? But some situations may be the optimal route. Some situations you may want to use something else. It's up to what you choose for the lane, right? That's the important thing. Gives you guys options to choose the best thing for each map and each lane.
All right.
But
But
while these guys have been working really hard on the stuff that you guys are gonna be seeing now,
you want to talk about the future a little bit past this?
I mean, I've been hidden deep within dungeons.
He locked himself.
I locked
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
In the dungeon.
I volunteered myself for sacrifice for the future, and I've been like grinding up and like hitting the walls with my pickaxe, trying to make my way out of the dungeon.
That you locked yourself in.
Yeah, I locked myself
You're
in.
trying to escape your own.
Yes.
Okay.
So you guys just have no idea what's happening, and it's gonna blow your mind. So yeah, I've been helping out these guys, but
Oh no.
the main thing I focused like during this month has just been working on the stuff for the future. It's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff coming. We're always trying to be a little bit one step ahead of ourselves, getting stuff knocked out both for the current update and then the following one. So we've got a lot of really cool stuff coming. I mean, these changes are going to be. We can't go super in depth to like the numbers on all of it because we'll be here till like 6 o'clock
12.5.
12.5 o'clock.
No, 12.5
We'll be here till,
percentage increase.
no, we'll be here till 12.5 o'clock if
That's
we go
fair.
through.
Will we?
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on.
I was saying in chat, I love you. Did you see that?
I did not. Did you say it to me?
Yeah, I did say it
Oh,
to
I
you.
love you too, Jose. That's very nice.
Yeah, man, appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
He didn't say it to me though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. No, actually, I did say it.
Did you?
Yeah, I said I love Mark. I love Alec. I love Colin. I basically said I love everyone.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
You're just in the cheery holiday spirit.
Next Friday, we'll tell them what we did next past Saturday.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Tune in next time.
Tune in next time, but we're not done yet. Well, Jose is for now.
I'm done. Let's
but-
cut the stream.
All right.
Thanks.
No. We are going to move into Q&A for a little bit because we're already a little over, but there's so much cover. We barely squeezed just all this stuff in, so we've got so much more coming that we can't fit in right now.
Yep.
It'll be in patch notes coming tomorrow. Not tomorrow. What? It'll be coming with our update. But let's get into some Q&A. We saying bye to Jose.
Do you want to play the game while Mark comes here?
No, Marcus. No,
No,
we've got to figure it out. Don't worry. He just barged in here like a barbarian.
Let me play. Do your Q&A.
All right, so got some questions. Start throwing them at us. I saw a whole lot coming during the stream, but I wasn't able to specifically go through and find it. Let's see here. There's no shard auto stacking. People ask for that quite a bit. It's basically, it comes down to fundamentally changing how our shards work. I don't want to get into the back end of it specifically, but it's not just a simple make this, do this now. The way we save a lot of stuff for players is in very unique ways to ensure that you get every time when you come back to the game what you had. So that's a huge technological jump for our whole system. So that's something that we don't plan on adding, but there's stuff we're looking into with shards. I can't really go into that, but we hear the feedback and we want to make things better. So there is stuff we're looking into. Let's see here. Will search be added to the vault? Not at this point, but again, inventory feedback, we love it. We see all of it. So we're trying to make a bunch of stuff better. We getting a bundle to spend money on this update. There's some stuff that's added that you can both earn or get from the Emporium if you want. So there's definitely some stuff to keep out there. Oh, you know what we forgot to do that people need to type in? If you want to check just to make sure it's still there, that'd be awesome. So we do have a hashtag already. It's still there. You can just put that in the chat right there. If you copy and paste it right into that chat, it'll probably ask for permission. There you go. Hit OK.
I was giving you this.
All right, go ahead and type in hashtag Drakenfrost. That is the name of the update. That is the hashtag for today. If you are entered, we'll be drawing names at the end. We will be giving you a Frosty Grin Flair whenever we have this update out. So go ahead and put that in. I'm going to try to it's like the worst time to probably do it because question and answers, but that's okay. How will communities interact cross-server? Are they specific to what region you're playing in?
I'm sorry?
For communities.
What was the question?
It's
Cross-region or server, is it specific to what?
Server.
We'll go the US East, US West?
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know the specifics of that? We'll find more to come on that. That is Juice Bags with a very good question. Oh, yeah, I was going to. Wait, is it the hard? Do you want to give the hard date?
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right, we can say that. Well, sorry. I mean, I'm going to stop the questions real quick just to answer that. Well, that's a request. So the Drakenfrost update is going to be coming out next week on Tuesday.
What?
I believe it's Tuesday, the 12th.
What?
It's coming out on the 12th, so that might be Wednesday, actually. Coming out December 12th, because different time zones, I don't know. Backtracking on that. But it's coming out December 12th. We'll be getting posts out as well, so everyone knows about it. So expect the notes on December 12th. I've been planning for the 12th. I can't change it now, Eric. So I've been updated that the update is coming out on December 11th. Eric, if you are lying to me, we're going to have some words.
I'm reading.
Okay.
Colin in chat.
All right. It is December 11th is when it's coming out. Initially scheduled for the 12th, so we're going a day earlier now to get this out to you guys. There will be patch notes out on the 11th. There will be a patch preview out the day before. So there's going to be plenty to pour over. There's going to be plenty of stuff to try out in the game and give us a bunch of feedback on. With that said, we'll go back to a couple more questions. Training dummy, I'm not sure. I think we might have made some changes to it. We don't have to cover it right now, but did we make a change to it?
Yes.
Okay. There are changes coming to a lot of these stuff. These things will be in the patch notes. We don't need to spill all the beans all at once.
Reduce concentration.
Hold on. Will there be a way to temporarily mute a community channel?
Yes.
Simon B coming in hot with questions.
Beast!
He's not wrong. Simon B was he's the mastery master. So yes, you'll be able to. In fact, I think there's another thing. Console players rejoice because you should. I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. You should be able to mute the voice chats that a lot of you have heard some real fun music and screaming through. You should be able to mute those now with this update. I could be wrong, but last I saw that was working and fantastic. So that should be coming. Update live date, we already answered that. Let's see here. How will the mod reroll? I'm not going through that. I should have read the end first for whatever reason. What about, again, with shard stuff we're looking into. So if you have any questions about shards besides the sorting stuff we're doing, we're aware of a lot of shard feedback. It's a very in-depth thing. It's probably one of the more complicated things within the inventory to just mess with at all. So we got to be really careful about that stuff. So that stuff takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to make sure it works correctly. Ooh, this one's spicy. This one's spicy enough that I will not only answer the question. Actually, I'll let you answer the question,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put in a little extra sauce with it, a little oomph. Material vault.
Yes.
What's the size on the material vault?
Right now or
Yeah, right now. Sure.
999.
All right. With this update, what is the material vault size?
9,999.
Oh, so it's substantially larger.
Oh, but did you tell him what's going in it?
This is the oomph that I wanted to put in there. Primary reroll material,
Yes.
that's going to be in there. Mod reroll material, that will also be in there. Both of those will be added to it. The size for every slot in there is going to be increased to 9,999. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 players that could maybe hit that cap on one slot. On one slot. So that's going to be coming. God, dude, these are some fantastic questions. Holy crap. New map rotation
Yes.
is the Drakenfrost map. It's a pretty big map.
It is.
Is that going to be an onslaught?
It is.
Oh, where's it going to be at in onslaught?
It's gonna be in a higher onslaught every.
That's a secret.
Yeah. How much can we tell him?
Yeah,
about
no.
this?
It's gonna be
No, it's a secret.
it's gonna be an onslaught.
No, it's a secret.
It's gonna be an onslaught.
It's gonna be in higher onslaught.
Yeah, so that's getting added to it. That's one thing we especially with the pirate maps, is one thing we really wanted to do is make sure whatever we put in, it's also an onslaught. You're gonna run into it.
Any spoilers? Not my fault.
So you'll be seeing that map in onslaught as well. Let's see here. Did we rip off Doomfist or Blizzard rip off Lavamancer? I'm pretty sure Landrian answered that. I'm not gonna say they ripped us off. I'm just gonna say Lavamancer's been out well before Doomfist. Let's see here. Already talked about the blockade stuff. Blockades are going to buff as long as it's not spike blockade. You'll be getting some information on that with the patch notes. Sorry, I got to go through some of this. There's a bunch of hashtags I have to hit here too. Not taking recommendations right now, but thank you. There's a lot of flair stuff we are adding into the game. Oh my gosh, this is where the Drakenfrost spam started. So I'm just now getting through. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. How long until mobs become immune to a certain CC? So technically, they never become immune to a certain CC. The diminishing returns, I guess they are for a short while. So it has to be applied to them multiple times. We're not going to put those numbers out because we might even tweak them right now, just in case we did some last minute testing and found something different. You will be able to see what's going on with those. Again, they're not permanently immune to it. They'll be going through, and then if they haven't been CC'd by anything for a while, then the diminishing return falls off completely. They can be completely stunned again. So again, this is where elemental stuff really comes into play. Man, they asked about training dummies so many times. Of course, I'm scrolling through a lot of chat now. There should, now, correct me if I'm wrong, is there retry or replay from Wave
Yeah.
on the new maps? Well, the new map. Drakenfrost Keep is a new map. Drakenfrost Resort is what you guys know previously as Hot Springs. So, yes, there will be replay and retry on those maps. Great. Whoa, that is a lot. So, for secondary reroll stuff, that's something we can look into for the future. That's what we initially were planning. But mods are just so much bigger, and we're like, let's get that in. Let's put our focus on that first because it's so much more expansive. Because we saw how primary roles were taken into account. So potentially, that may be coming. There's some questions here that we're kind of already looking into. Will the pizza drench? I wish. It'll save. It'll oil. There we go. No, it doesn't oil, but it should.
It'll oil.
Game-changing flair. When are we putting it in? See here. Man, some interesting spelling. We already answered that question. More about the training. I just got to the release date that Elandrine said. That's how far behind this is. There's so much to go through.
I'm waiting.
Hex
man.
throwers be nerfed. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find stuff. We covered a lot of stuff. I think kind of well. Will there be a new chaos tier? I'll just let you answer that.
So nothing planned right now, but never say never.
Okay, there we go. That's fair. Mute voices in chat for consoles. We already answered that. No talk radio blaring anymore. You're welcome. Reroll material. We added that.
Yeah.
Mode drop rates. I think from what we've seen, we're pretty fine on those right now. There is some stuff we've heard feedback on, specifically with playing modes and leveling. It's something we're looking into. Again, I actually responded to some of this feedback as well. There's a lot to that. Mark here is pretty much the god of our economy. Mm-hmm. He's constantly monitoring stuff, making sure everything's great. So he is aware of this. You and I have spent countless hours, I feel like at this point, talking about specifically ancient power, playing modes, everything. So there's a lot with that. Marcus, I am talking a lot. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not answering too many questions.
I'm so sorry. There's so many. I'm trying to get through as fast as possible. See here, and then there's some really long ones. Yo, material vault. A lot of these are the same questions that we've already kind of answered. I don't want to ask this specific question, but
yes,
are we potentially looking in ways to improve the trading process, or at least getting items from player A to player B? Is that something on our radar?
That is something that's very much on my radar.
Okay. As someone who is, as I put earlier, the god of our economy, you're very aware of this.
I'm very aware.
Okay. So, any questions about that? Trust me, we're on so many things right now. We're also like really pushing over as well. I'll do one more, and then I gotta find like a good one.
Hit me.
Okay, I mean this is a pretty general one. I think this one's like pretty decent. Thoughts about like either revamping or balancing defenses. I mean, what's our stance on that?
I mean, we always want to make sure that you can have fun with what you play with, right? And there are some defenses that aren't quite as effective as others, so we're always looking at that. With our last patch, we put out some balance changes, defenses to make them much better. I think Blaze Balloon was one of them, and that worked out really well. Or we did that sometime recently.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for that kind of thing, trying to do it, making sure that everybody can have fun with the towers they want to play with.
So we're actively trying to buff towers with every release now. Like last time we buffed like some like traps. Now we're buffing blockades. Next time we'll buff you.
just directly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a constant thing. We see so much feedback about stuff. Elemental combos and blockades. I feel like we've seen a lot of feedback on that.
Yeah.
So we are acting on those things to make those systems awesome, to make them viable. Not necessarily always required, but to make, like I said, the highest progressed players right now aren't using blockades and they aren't using CC. And we don't necessarily want to change that, but we do want to make things as interesting as we can. So when it comes to revamping or changing things, mods also provide us that way as well. Shocking Revelation, all the hero specific ones. There's a lot we can do with those systems. And now with diminishing returns, and we can do so much more. So when it comes, we don't necessarily need to revamp towers. We can just make some dope mods for them and change the way they kind of interact. I think we've some of the long-term work that Jose is actually looking into. That's actually a part of it. Is making towers different or have really unique interactions. But yeah, I mean, Jose,
Sorry.
We're gonna put you back in that dungeon.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
It's not my fault.
don't touch it again.
No,
we're
I'm
leaving
not.
it as is.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
So with that said, is there anything else you can think of that we might have missed?
Not that I can think of.
We covered a lot.
Yeah.
So
Not anything that you will let me tell them.
that's true. So get out of here, juice bags PMing me. Shame. I'm on camera right now. You know what's going on. Anyways, we've got this whole thing, all this and more, coming out on December 11th. Patch notes that day. Patch preview the day before. And we can't wait for you guys to try it out. So we're excited.
Super excited.
So with that, that's the end of Devstream 87. Hang out and chat for a little bit. We'll be doing some drawings. Once the update goes live, we will be sending you guys the giveaways through Twitch Whisper specifically. So sometime on that date, because that's a pretty hectic day, we will get those codes sent out to you guys, and you will be able to have a frosty grin as well. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next Trendy Friday Fun stream. So that's it. Take care, everybody.
Bye.